All right, and it's rolling.
Did not work so good when we did that, I don't think.
Well, that other couch was uncomfortable.
It was.
So
We have to.
it looks cool, though.
We just need some crazy chairs. Let's find some crazy chairs like those.
We need to find something cool.
Something comfy and
for our do-buds.
Especially for you.
Yes. We're talking about how our chairs are uncomfortable.
How our butts hurt.
How our butts hurt after a while.
Especially yours.
First world problems, all right?
First world horror host problems, let me tell you. Yeah. So the people rolling a little bit.
Jennifer Delaney, the first one in the chat. Hello, Miss Jennifer.
Oh,
Hi
you
there.
said okay.
Just one little step.
Right.
Here we go. Just a little bit. Hey, John Biggins. Hey, Connie Cleary. Hey, guys. There's Wiki Bobby.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Wiki, wiki. The night owls are here.
Hoo-hoo.
We'll give it a few minutes and see if any more join us.
Speaking of Wiki Bobby, what?
I have to go get that tape. It's over there.
Oh, you can do this.
Yeah.
We're just rolling.
Real quick.
Speaking of Wiki Bobby, who signed my banana, I had to grab my banana.
You're grabbing your banana. Isn't that like a personal thing?
He signed this 3 years ago, believe it or not. That's crazy.
It was that long ago.
Yeah,
huh?
It was during that Goularty Fest in Ron's driveway.
That was the Goularty yard sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pandemic Goularty Fest.
Goularty Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby came out to see us, and I brought my banana, and he kindly signed my banana.
He did sign your banana. He did a great job.
I wonder if it should. No, I can just only for about. No one else should sign my banana.
No, that's special.
Yes.
Maybe another banana other people can sign.
That'd be good. I should get another banana kind of like this, and then although there's only one of these.
Yeah, that one's very special.
And yeah, but I should get something people could sign if you want to put your name on my banana.
There you go. Ed's joining us. We've got Victor. We've got Dogum, Toy Painter 1.
Ooh.
Rebel Ghoul is here. Neil's here. Raymond's here. Hey, guys. All right,
Come
cool.
on, baby.
So I guess we could probably start up soon.
Let's start up soon. Whatever you just let me know, Dusty, and we'll do this.
Fish Paws. Now that's an interesting name. I didn't know fish had paws.
Maybe they don't.
Schultz is joining us. Hey, Schultzy.
Schultzy, what's up, man?
Yay.
Where's the robot? It's over here somewhere.
Thea says, thanks for having us over.
No problem.
You're welcome. Yeah, come on over, guys.
Come on in, hang out with us.
Have a seat, get situated.
There's a beanbag chair over there and some other
Yeah.
stuff,
There's a couple, fold-up lawn chairs that you could probably use.
Some stained mattresses if you dare.
I found them at a yard sale last week.
We found some cool mattresses on tree lawns as we drove around town. And we brought them home. You can go ahead and sprawl out on those. Those are nice.
Beware of the bed bugs.
A lot of life left in those mattresses. Probably a lot of life in the mattresses.
No, don't bring those in, Grim.
Whole ecosystem in there.
No, those aren't allowed here on the cinema.
But they were free.
No, Grim.
Nobody wanted them.
Bone Jangler says, any more word on this year's Goularty Fest? Good question. The last time I heard they were having trouble getting a location.
At this late in the game.
This late in the game, they were having trouble booking a location, but they were still scouting out a few places.
Someone's basement.
But I have a feeling it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
The closer we get to that time, if they don't have a place booked yet, a venue.
We're 5 months away from October, and they usually have it in October or November. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a band called Mushroom Head who's having their Halloween show, and they're already I think it's almost sold out.
They probably sold out of tickets already.
So things are like that. I mean, you need to plan this stuff way in advance because of popularity, and because they haven't done one in a few years. If they do one, it's going to be nuts. I mean,
yeah.
So.
And I suggested to them, the people running it, maybe just do a one-day show,
yeah.
So it's less to plan. Do a Goularty Fest one-day collectible show and keep it real simple.
It might be easier to find a hall.
Yeah, it might be easier to rent out a place if it's just a one-day thing, and maybe don't even book a big guest. Just have it like a nostalgic thing.
Because the problem, as everyone can imagine and might already know, is that because of the pandemic, there were a lot of businesses that had events. Was the way they made their money, and since that didn't happen for at least a solid year and a half. Once it reopened, boom! I mean, if you don't get a place right away, you're not going to get a venue.
Yeah.
So stuff gets booked up real quick. So.
Oh, and Thea said she's gonna use the lawn chairs to make a blanket fort.
There you go.
So
that's fun.
That sounds cozy.
I would love to watch a horror host show under a blanket fort.
Under a blanket fort. I don't remember the last time I made a blanket fort.
We should make a blanket
Maybe
fort.
thousands of years ago.
Should we make a blanket fort? It's called a house. No, it'd
Yeah,
be fun.
I think the whole cemetery is our blanket fort.
But if I farted in a blanket fort, that would be bad.
then it would be a Dutch oven.
Yes.
And that wouldn't be very cozy.
Even though I'm not Dutch.
No. You should go fart outside in the cemetery. The cemetery.
23andMe came back and it has nothing to do with Dutch.
Oh, gosh.
Except for the oven part.
Bone Jangler says rent a VFW for a day. Yeah, I mean,
could probably do that.
You could probably do that.
But I wonder if that's too much. I bet
But
you a
it
lot
might
of people would
Yeah, it
come
might
out.
be a smaller venue.
I don't know. We're not putting any of it down. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
It might come to that, if they wait too long. So we'll see.
We'll see for sure. There is a convention that we will be attending in August. It's a one-day show in Pittsburgh. So it's called Gross Fest. And we'll have more info.
Gross.
Yeah, it's for indie filmmakers. I thought that was kind of
Ooh,
fun.
I can't wait. Yeah.
They invited us to be a part of it.
Yeah,
And,
Tim Gross and his brother.
Yeah, nice guys. So once it gets closer, we'll talk about it more. But it's still kind of far away.
Jens gone downtown.
Yes, Jens.
Pittsburgh. Jens gone downtown.
Yeah. Victor says, Grim, you are a party animal. I love your t-shirt. I've got several famous monsters, hoodies, and caps.
Yes, I got this from the Monster Bash crew way back when. I don't know what happened to my Flaming Skull shirt. I totally disappeared.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
That thing, I love that shirt. That was like a Grim Gory sort of, staple, but I don't know what happened to that shirt.
Wherever the lost socks go.
Probably hanging out with the
when
lost
you lose your socks in the dryer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Or where the lost brain cells go. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway,
so
welcome to the Harry Scary Hang. Oh, we didn't do the intro yet. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Hey, one and all, welcome to the Mummy and the Monkeys Harry Scary Hangover. That's right. This is our after show. We're
after show chat show.
Yes.
We host the Harry Scary Hangout on our YouTube channel. We are movie hosts on most Friday nights, and then we host this little after chat show.
Well, I know we've been movie hosts for at least 199 Friday nights.
Yes.
At least.
Plus the Halloween specials, plus like the straight to DVD stuff we've done in the past.
Plus the podcasts and the little pop-ups that we do. So yeah, we're in it.
Yeah.
Why are we? We should talk about that. Should be a topic one night. Why are we doing this?
I ask myself that every single day. I wake up out of the sarcophagus here and I'm like, why am I doing that? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good question.
Maybe for the podcast or something.
We should talk about that.
But we were going to talk about found media and VHS finds.
Okay.
Because you uncovered some episodes.
Which I know nothing about.
You uncovered some episodes of The Ghoul recently that you forgot you had.
Close. Of Big Chuck and Little John.
Or was it Big Chuck and Little John? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah.
You were telling me about a bunch of different VHS tapes you found, and I got mixed up.
Okay, so here's my backstory. So ever since I know, and I have proof of all of this because I have it on tape. I have the tapes.
Oh, Rebel's saying the mics are popping.
They are.
The mics are popping.
This thing was looking kind of grody.
So
are they any better now? Are they clicking?
Dying.
Well, this thing was like this. The USB thing was kind of broken.
I saw that.
Can they hear okay now?
Can you hear us okay now?
Are it still popping? Can you get the?
I don't know. I'm waiting to
hear the audio on your phone.
My phone's over there charging because it was dead.
Let's do some quick. I had to jump up. Come on, you can do it.
Okay, hold on.
I'll hold court. So anyway, yeah. So we're gonna do a little. So Jan's gonna. Oh, actually, this is all live. She's gonna test the audio on her phone to see if and I'll do some sibilants. Check 1, 2, 2 sibilants. Are they popping? Is it popping, or is it?
It's playing an ad right now.
Oh, of course. Let me know when you can hear me because. Can you hear me now?
I hear you twice.
Okay. Once, twice, 3 times a Grimgory. Sound okay?
I hear you. I don't hear the popping right now.
Maybe it could be on their end too.
I'm trying to listen on my phone.
Yeah, sometimes.
So it's not like the
audio,
greatest sound because it's a phone.
Yeah, but you'd be able to hear popping though, I think.
Well, they hear us, but it's cracking.
Is
Janet's
it still?
mic seems to be the issue, says Schultz.
Oh.
I guess I'm the issue.
It's your fault. Let's see. We need to order another one of these pronto.
Yeah.
Is it any better?
I don't know.
Well, then
I guess we'll just continue on.
We could switch. Well, if you want to do like the pass the mics back and forth.
Okay, they think it's my mic. Okay, sorry guys. Okay.
So I could do this, yeah.
Okay.
Is this?
We'll just share.
All right. Yeah, and I can pass it to you.
Oh, they're saying it's definitely me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Kirk says my microphone is pooping.
Oh, okay. Though it's not good.
I didn't know it was pooping. Okay.
So we'll try to do like a back and forth.
Yeah. So make sure. Okay, there we go.
All right. So it's like interview style right now.
Okay. So you found some tapes. So Jerry Springer passed away last week, and you were looking for tapes of Jerry Springer episodes that you had. I'm trying to remember your story.
So I was going to go back and give a little background on why I have all these tapes, because ever since I was a wee ape, I was fascinated with just stuff, things in general, cartoons and all this kind of stuff. And when the advent of a tape recorder came around, a portable tape recorder back for me, it was like the late 70s. I got one for Christmas, and I would tape my own little skit shows. I do have some of those things left, from that time. And I would tape stuff off of television, my favorite TV theme songs of the shows that were on back then, like, whatever it was, Different Strokes and Dukes of Hazzard, The Hulk, whatever was going on. I would tape the theme shows and listen to those over and over like an idiot. And I started taping the Ghoul Show. When he was on in Cleveland in the early 80s, I have some audio of that from the actual shows. And some Big Chuck and Little John as well.
Nice.
I would tape some of that, and I was just always fascinated with capturing stuff on audio tape, and then that grew to the release of VHS tape, recordable VHS tape in the early 80s. I think we got one about in the mid 80s. We actually saved up. The family had enough to buy one, and I was taping shows back then. So I have videotapes that I've taped since the 1985 might be the earliest videotape I have of stuff. I wish I would have taped more, and I wish I wouldn't edited the commercials out like seems like everyone did back in the 80s with the pause button. But and since then, I would go to thrift stores, and anytime I would see a tape that looks like it might have been recorded off of television or home videos and stuff, I would buy them. So I have tons and tons and tons of tapes. And now that we do this reselling thing, people know the stuff we're looking for, and one of them are videotapes and beta tapes, and they save them for us. And now we're sitting on a ton of these things, a mountain of them.
Yes, that you're still sorting through.
I'll do the back and forth. And if you're going to talk for a long time, I'll give it. So,
Rebel Ghoul, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Thank you. So, real quick, so when Jerry, I've been trying to archive all my tapes, and audio, video, everything, which is a huge. I don't know that I can actually do it in my lifetime. I have that much stuff.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, I mean, I've been taping since the mid '80s, and I've got several thousand tapes at least. Okay, yeah. I've not counted them all.
There's a lot of retro tapes here,
and that
Mummy Monkey Land.
Yeah, that doesn't include pre-recorded movies and to forget about the DVDs, and oh my God, it's insane. And there's some people out there there are a lot of tape heads and video files and physical media people out there.
Yes, there are. And then Bone Jangler says he still records on his VCR, and he's having trouble finding blank tapes still, but. Check Marketplace, check the local listings. Yard sale season is upon us now, so hopefully you should find some old tapes and ask around when you go to those sales, and they, it might refresh their memory. They might say, oh yeah, I've got some in the basement or in the attic. Let me go get them for you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Janet, because a lot of people might not think anybody wants those, and they could be in the house, and all you have to do is ask, and you might be surprised what they'll pull out. The only trick with videotape now, with any kind of tape, is the mold issue that can happen with them.
Yes, based on where it's stored, some of the tapes can get mold, mildew, stuff like that. So that can really mess up your VCR.
Absolutely. So I have two different VCRs. I learned this from a friend of ours, Carl, who does this type of thing too as well, archiving a bunch of tapes. And we have a little group between us, Jay, Carl, and Ryan, and Janet, and myself, where we actually try to save and hunt down anything Northeast Ohio, horror host or anything like that, or local related programming, and try to archive it. And again, that's a massive job, but yes. I know Jay and Carl have done a huge amount of that work, and I'm stepping into the actual digitizing instead of converting it or taping it onto a DVD, which if I wanted to digitize it, I had to rip it off of the DVD, so it's like a two-step process. I got to get out of that. Anyway, so I was going through some tapes the other day, like you mentioned,
yes.
My own personal ones, and I was looking for Jerry Springer episodes I taped in the 90s, because it was all the rage, so I was taping. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to, watch some trash TV. And then I was going through my tapes, and I had logged everything in. And for some reason, I thought I already surrendered all my stuff to Jay and those guys to put onto to archive.
Yeah.
That was Big Chuck and Little John Ghoul, Superhost related, whatever we had in Northeast Ohio that I taped. And I came across two Big Chuck and Little John shows from the year 2002. One show where they showed RoboCop 2, and another one they showed a Memorial Day episode, which can't come in a better time, right? They showed a movie called Gardens of Stone with James Earl Jones and James Caan. So they're going to try to get that into the archives so people can enjoy that for Memorial Day in a few weeks.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure the fans will love to see it. And it makes me wonder, what other tapes do you have, Grim, that you forgot you had?
Well, I don't know, and what other tapes have I bought, recently that could have stuff or within the. I mean, I have stuff from years ago. Case in point, you were at one of the acquisitions with me. We were at the flea market one day, and there was a truck. There was one of these white kind of moving trucks there, rental trucks, and they had like bins full of stuff. And we saw that some of the bins had videotapes in them, VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much you want for your VHS tapes? They're going to go say 50 cents a piece or $1 a piece. And they had hundreds. And they were like, you could have them all for $20. Like, even you were like, yeah, go get them. I'm like, oh my God.
So, yeah, that day there was a truckload of tapes that we purchased for $20. And some I sold at Cinema Wasteland. Some were really good, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre on VHS. I think, unfortunately, there were a few I may have undersold because there's some of them that were rarer than I realized. But then there's some that we kept. There was just so many to sort through. It was really like Christmas. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, there was some beta tapes in there, Betamax tapes, that other format. That was supposed to be, it's better resolution and more popular. It was supposed to be it was better resolution and better quality than a VHS, but I guess the adult movie industry stuck on, so to speak, to the VHS.
Yeah, there were a lot of adult-oriented tapes in there as well, and I think
really,
yeah, no, there was a box of them, and
what?
There were some diehard collectors of that type of thing that did buy them from us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So there was that, and but this was a mix that had a lot of pre-recorded tapes too, like off of television. So yeah, so I mean that stuff will happen. And one of the heartbreaking stories, I know this is all like tape head nerd stuff.
But I mean, you have to think, like, we got that whole truckload of tapes for $20. So even if there's some I undersold, we still did good. The whole truckload was $20.
Now you're talking about reselling the actual movies that were
They were movies, but like the stuff that's taped off the TV, that's like stuff that you keep. Yeah.
Right, and there was more of that than there was the other tapes. But so I was interested in both, obviously, because we could resell the ones that are actual movies, or we can go through whatever the heck is on these tapes. Unfortunately, the stuff on the pre-recorded stuff or the TV recorded, it's like stuff off of HBO. That's the thing is like if I find these tapes, I'm less excited about stuff taped off of cable. Number one, because there's no commercials on cable. There's nothing really, and it's just you might as well just watch the movie. There's nothing that makes that a unique sort of experience. It's because it's these HBOs and Cinemaxes. They just showed movies and TV shows and stuff like that, and there's nothing
local. There's no local flavor on there.
No matter what.
And real quick, David says, I didn't know you had those. This was maybe 4 or 5 years back, so it wasn't like a recent.
Summer?
David Phillips.
Oh.
Yeah, he thought I had them at the. No, I didn't have VHS at the last. We didn't have it at this past Cinema Wasteland. No, this was like several years ago.
Oh yeah, this was a bunch of years ago. But
we should have specified.
But there was one character, some guy, that was, again, had the white moving van, and they had a bunch of stuff out, and I saw he had boxes of videotapes. This was just last summer. And I told the story before here, I think once, or on either here or the podcast. But anyway, so I'm going through the tapes, I see movies, blah, blah, and then I start seeing some, like, taped off TV type looking tapes, handwritten labels. And one said, I think it said 80s cartoons or something, like it was handwritten. And I was like, oh my gosh, finally, there's probably TMNT on here and who knows what's on this thing. Who cares? And I asked the guy, I said, how much are your tapes? He goes, oh, they're like $1 a piece, except for the ones that I have my handwriting. I want those. Oh, so
Well, and I'm thinking, why would you even bring that? If that's something you're keeping, why would you bring it with you to the flea market? Wouldn't you keep that at home? But enough of the flea market stuff. So let's well,
it's all part and parcel.
We could do more. Yeah, we could do more about it. Talk more about that on the podcast. But we also look for tapes for like stuff that maybe we could show on the Mummy and the Monkey. And we'll read some comments, and then I'll show this one tape.
Yeah, you'll have to do that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Okay.
can clip it on if you need to. I'll just
No, it's all right.
I'm good. If it's easy for you to, I'm telling you, clip it on.
No, it's okay. We're sharing the mic.
Right.
Bone Jangler says a lot of those that are in oversized cases are worth a lot of money.
Clamshell, yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer says I grew up with the 80s horror movies.
Oh gosh, you could find those. Those are real good.
Yeah, people are saying 90s and VCR stuff, and Bone Jangler says new VCR DVD recorders are $900 now.
No crap. Well, we got a bunch of them. That's why we buy them whenever we go to yard sales, especially because people undervalue. They don't care about that stuff. It's an old format. But if you're a tape file or a video file like we are, I can't stress flea markets, and especially yard sales.
And yard sales.
Even more.
Estate sales too.
Estates, they don't care about that stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping there's a Betamax player still at the one sale on Sunday that I could snag for half price. I already have three.
There.
I have 3 Betamax players. I don't even know how many VHS players we have, VCRs.
Bone Jangler says I have hundreds and hundreds of Svengoolie shows from 1979 to now. Wow.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I picked this up, and I thought it'd be funny to maybe play for Christmas in July.
So I don't have to
Well, for Christmas.
Clip it, because then I have to sit there and
Okay.
go on.
So hold on a sec.
Makes more sense.
There we go.
There.
Okay. The holiday workout. I guess it's some type of workout tape with
Jenny
Santa.
Greggins. It's Jenny Greggins.
And Jenny Greggins,
Come
whoever
on.
that is.
Everyone knows Jenny.
I don't know her.
Leggy Jenny Greggins.
I
just
knew
made
like
that up.
Jane Fonda and like, who were the other workout ladies?
Jane Kennedy, Jane Fonda. Yeah. So
There's others. Richard Simmons.
he's not a lady.
Well, a workout person.
There you go.
A workout people.
Well, Jenny Greggins was a big one.
Okay. Well, there she is with Santa, and this is a workout tape. It's a VHS. It's sealed.
She's no thigh master.
This was never opened, and it has a purple tag at the Goodwill. It was half off today.
Who cares? So what's on it?
So it's a Santa workout.
Ah.
So this was like, I don't know, like 50 cents or whatever. But
So your idea was to
I thought it'd
get
be
that.
funny to maybe take clips from it, maybe to put in a skit or to use for a holiday thing.
Now we've got lots of that stuff.
It's just silly and unusual,
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. Or like those, there's some, what, you picked up some instructional tapes recently.
Hello.
Oh yeah, here. Wow.
Don't slap me.
Careful with that crap.
Ooh, I don't want a wardrobe malfunction going on, or do we?
Careful with that crap.
Or do we?
No, we don't. We want to keep our YouTube account.
This is a family show. What was the question?
So you picked up some VHS where it was like some silly instructional videos. Wasn't there one like how to play the theremin?
Oh, well, that was a DVD I picked up.
No, I thought it was a tape.
I think it's DVD.
Okay, well, silly stuff like that. Maybe we could put it on our channel or something.
Oh, we've got lots of that kind of stuff. We found some tapes the other day at the Streetsboro flea market of how to draw. There's some guy that had a drawing course. That could be funny. We've got all kinds of weird, like, Dollar Tree type looking UFO stuff. Mm-hmm. Really bad, cheesy documentaries. We've got loads of that stuff.
Yeah, we do.
And that could be fodder for the channel for sure. We're hoping that it is.
It could be.
Yeah.
There's some good comments here.
Please. I'll hold it.
Hot Toddy. Hi, Hot Toddy. Janet, about a week ago, I saw the bumper that you and Grim did for Svengoolie, and it looked great. I had my Dead Zed zombie puppet make an appearance just before you guys came on. Wow, that's you?
We love that puppet.
We love that puppet. You do an amazing job.
If anything, yeah, to me, puppets are an underrated sort of art form, and we're learning that anyway. We're actually a part of a group now that the Northeast Ohio Puppeteers Guild.
The Puppetry Guild.
Puppetry Guild.
Or Puppet Guild. We're probably butchering the name of this club.
But we're a part of it, and that's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, but we love puppets, and the Dead Zed thing, the design's amazing, and that's when I'm like, hey, out of all this stuff, and I'm talking about our audition, who cares about that? But we're watching all this stuff, and when the Dead Zed puppet, I'm like, that's a winner right there. I'd use that puppet in the show, on the Sven
Yeah,
thing.
he looks great. And then we have to see, do you have a YouTube channel for your puppet guy? Like, do you have videos of him online?
We want more Dead Zed.
And then Hot Toddy says, really, a puppet guild would be amazing. Yeah, there's actually multiple puppet guilds throughout the world, I guess.
You're not alone.
Based on, what region you're from. So look it up. I guess it is a thing, and we never knew it was a thing. There are puppet guilds.
In the phone book, it's under P, and it's right after L, which is the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
Don't join that. You want to go to the P, to the Puppetry Guild.
Puppet guild.
We represent the Puppetry Guild, the Puppetry Guild, the Puppetry Guild.
Sorry.
Let's see. I'm trying to read more comments.
Please.
Bone Jangler says, I do have a lot of Ghoul shows on VHS. Crew members sent them to me, 2 at a time, 1 per tape every other week.
Check it out though, Bones. The rare Ghoul shows, besides obviously the early '70s stuff, are the '80s Cleveland shows and probably Detroit shows. It doesn't matter. That era, to me, that was the era that the mid '80s or the early '80s Ghoul when he came back to Cleveland after he went to Detroit in '75. But that kind of that footage there's not a lot of that as far as I know. But if you have some of that, hit me up.
And then Greg says, puppets or marionettes? Well, actually, marionettes are considered a type of puppetry. So we learned that at the Puppet Guild meeting.
What about meat puppets?
No, we're not talking about that.
That's not a form of puppetry.
No, Graham.
Stop me. Somebody stop me.
Okay, he's putting me on the spot here. Let's see. I'm trying to read more comments. Yeah, in the early 80s, shows are rare. Okay.
Yeah, they're hard.
And Rebel's talking about her dogs.
Yeah, the closest thing on the going back to the Ghoul stuff real quick, I do have, and I think a lot of collectors and traders have, the Channel 61 from Cleveland, early 80s Ghoul shows. They're the wraps of the shows. They're not the entire show with movies or commercials. It's just the raw wraps where they have, you could see the clackboard and stuff like that, and the video version of the clackboard. But it's actually the studio tapes that they used, and then they would cut the movie in. And but those things exist. I have those. But boy, I want the complete shows, and if possible with commercials. But
that would be cool with the commercials for sure.
Yeah, but my holy grail find and VHS tapes. The closest thing that exists of this is the Channel 9, I think it is, 1981 broadcast of King Kong on Thanksgiving night. That does exist out of New Jersey with commercials, but it's New Jersey. I want the WUAB Channel 43 Thanksgiving night King Kong, with commercials if possible. Because without commercials, you're just going to see the movie. But yeah, but so far as that's the holy grail for me, is a Cleveland airing of King Kong on Thursday night, on Thanksgiving night. And I think that was on between the years of 1976 and 1981 or 2, and then they stopped showing it after that, King Kong on Thanksgiving. But
Monster
if anyone out there,
movies and Thanksgiving just seem to go perfect together.
even better than here, because on Channel 9, and I think in some other the sister stations, they would not only show King Kong on Thursday night, but after King Kong, they would show Son of Kong and then a bunch of Godzilla movies all night.
Bone Jangler's saying everyone would cut out the commercials because they could. Like when we could vote on whether or not the Jason Todd Robin would be killed. Everyone voted to kill him because they could.
Yeah, exactly. I see it in myself, and I kind of know. When I find old videotapes.
And he added, now everyone wishes they left all the commercials in.
Yeah. And I have to say, I think that commercials now, I think even 30 years from now, aren't going to be as cool and interesting as those 70s, 80s, up until maybe the early 90s commercials. And then everything kind of started looking the same. Not as creative. I don't know what it is.
I disagree. There are some new commercials that made me laugh a little bit, where it was kind of cute and fun. But yeah, the retro ones were more cheesy. there was like a fun cheese factor to it because they always had like a little jingle or a little song.
But retro's relative because at
Yeah.
the time it wasn't retro. It was what they were showing at the time.
Right,
It's only
right.
retro 30 years later. But
30 years later, you look back at it fondly because you remember the little jingle or whatever. Yeah.
with the stuff you see now, commercial-wise, do you see that? So age it in your mind. Use your imagination and say 30 years from now, would these commercials be as interesting as some of the?
Some of them, yes, I think so. Because they're okay. So there's one with the for that paper towel company where they spill the paper. They spilled something and they're like.
They see the spill creeping to the.
And they're like, no, and then the person on the tablet's like, no.
Yeah, they have
And
a
it's kinda
tablet on.
funny.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
I thought
but
that was clever.
but so imagine a time where every other commercial was like that instead of every 20 commercials that are that clever.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe 30 years from now, people will look back nostalgic on commercials that were playing today.
That's what I just said. I was wondering if that would
I'm
be.
agreeing with you there.
But I was wondering if that could be. But you have to. But here's what I don't think you'll have: the local commercials. Way different. The low production values.
I disagree because I have seen local commercials for local businesses on YouTube.
But that reminds you of that?
It's based, well, it's not like the retro ones, but it's based on like where your location is.
I'm not saying that there won't be.
Google is like,
But I'm not saying there won't be.
They know everything, I guess.
I'm not saying there won't be local commercials. I'm saying they won't match the low production values.
Oh, the production value is cheesy still on some of the
I've not
local
seen
ones
them.
I've seen. Yeah, Super Plumber. That's cheesy. It's still around.
Yeah, maybe.
The commercials are still cheesy.
I have to see that. That one's pretty weird.
There's some out there, and some of the car commercials are cheesy. The different car dealerships. Yeah.
And I understand it's a relative thing. I know that that people 100 years from now, or that's too long, that's too far. But like me 30 years from now, who are young now, and then when they're 60, 30 years from now, when they're 30 now and 60, they'll look back fondly on the stuff that they. I understand how that works, but
No,
I don't know.
I think there can still be some good commercials even in modern times. So everyone looks back in the day as this nostalgic rose-colored thing,
they all will.
and never was as perfect as everyone remembers it.
If it was that good, why did we cut the commercials out?
Nostalgia's great. We like those memories, of course. We look fondly at certain things.
I forget who said nostalgia ain't what it used to be, but I love that saying.
And when you're a mummy that's thousands of years old,
You've seen it all.
yes, it's like been there, done that.
Boy, I miss those plagues. Boy, you just never get a plague like you do back then. A good locust
Locusts
plague.
and everything. Yeah.
The firstborn. Jeez, you just don't have it like that good anymore.
There's some more comments. Okay, Insane J says in Detroit they used to have a Godzilla and King Kong marathon.
Right.
After the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yep.
Kaiju and Thanksgiving great memories.
Yeah. Well, that's another word that just was introduced into the lexicon.
And then Lois says, insurance guy called Mr. Mayhem. A friend of mine named a kitten after him. So I guess that was a commercial she remembers, Mr. Mayhem.
Yeah, we all had the local celebs and stuff, and the local commercials, and no one can act, and that was the best part of it. They're reading off a cue card, their eyes are all over the place. They do the fake smile after they're stiff as a board. It's the best
Or
stuff.
they have like a really goofy like hairdo from that time, and you go back to look at it, and it's just really silly.
One of my favorite, fairly recent local commercials was that classic.
Norton Furniture?
No, even better than that.
I love the Norton Furniture commercial.
He was good.
He was amazing.
But what's the guy? Montgomery, flea market. Come down and see us. Vignettes, dinettes.
It's just like
a mini
mall.
He's the dad rap guy. They even made fun of him on what? Was it Family Guy?
On Family Guy, they did a parody of him. It was
Not that you needed to.
It was for some flea market down south.
Montgomery.
Yeah. And he did this little song.
Horrible dad rap.
It was hilarious.
It's like dad rap. There was no.
And, because of the wonders of the internet, everyone has been able to find that commercial.
Yeah, it's like the RV guy, and all. There's been some recent stuff that's been mind-blowingly funny with them not trying to be.
Yeah.
You can't even plan that kind of stuff, but there you go. It does exist.
Yes. All right. We should probably wrap this up.
You will or we will?
We will, I think. Because I'm a tired little ghoul, and
I can go all
our
night.
microphones are dying. And
I can go all night, baby.
So we have some homework to do.
We have some equipment to purchase
And-
before our big episode.
We have to
next
get a new
weekend.
mic.
We might, who knows? We might have to wait.
We should get one of those fancy podcast mics that I've been looking at online.
But you have to keep that.
It would have to probably sit in the
You
middle.
couldn't rotate this or anything.
So, yeah, that's going to be tough. Or maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to get like a fancy mic.
We just need
Stand
lavs. We need
thing.
lavs. We need lavs that don't
Or get
plug in.
fancy, maybe like wireless lavaliers.
We need to bite the bullet. We got to
Yeah.
use that money that we've been getting through here and just buy some equipment. That's what it's for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Google,
Stop buying Doritos
the
and
Google
Cheetos.
overlords take their cut of it. So
Someone's rocking out
Richard
outside.
Taylor says, "I love you all." Aw, thank you, Richard.
That's nice. Thank you.
Let's see. I had a lot of fun watching tonight. I still love your skit so much, says Hot Toddy. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna try to get some new skits for our 200th. So please, oh my God, we have so much work this week to get a lot of stuff done, but we're gonna do it.
Yes. No pressure or anything.
Yeah, and then maybe after this, we can do a podcast at some point on why we do the show.
Yes. So maybe this Sunday night.
Or maybe for our the podcast for the 200.
Or for the 200th episode.
That could be more interesting, I think.
For like next week then.
Yes, next
Okay.
Sunday. This Sunday we're just gonna talk. We're gonna let I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
All right. Well,
So here I'm gonna give you the mic, and thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I'm gonna let Janet close the show out. So, mwah.
all right. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to fold up the lawn chairs and put them back over there against
where
the
you
wall.
found them, please.
Fold up the blanket that you used for the blanket fort and.
Yeah, and there's some doggy bags.
We have a recycle bin over there for your bottles and cans.
Yeah, pick up your cigarette butts.
Yeah. Pick up your litter there.
Thank you.
Give a hoot, don't pollute.
Right.
And thank you guys for watching the Hairy Scary Hangover. Have a nice night. Good fright. Mwah.
See you on 200.
Bye-bye.